Hello guys, today I'm going to be making a guide on Hit. I've never made a guide before. This is going to be my first complete guide to a character. So yeah, if there's still any questions by the time you finish this, let me know. I'll get to it and see how I can answer it. But this isn't going to be going over combos. I think I'm going to make a whole separate video on combos. This is just going to be going over his buttons, his specials, and how to move around, mix, and get through and open up your opponent with this character. Because it's not always that easy, but we'll get into it, you know? I'm gonna be talking about his positions first, because I think his positions are a key asset to playing Hit, especially, because some are better than others. And yeah, let's get into it. His main position, or his best, I think anyway, is mid. Mid is really good for a character like this, um, because as you know, Hit's got some insane assists in the game, like this, that really help you out. Um, so yeah, like getting to use his assist, and utilize it instead of running him point, which I still think running him point is good because, then you get your two assists and everything like that that comes in a point. But the only thing that I don't like about Hit Point is his round start options. He does not have the very best round start options, as we'll get into, because many of them can be punished. He only really gets good round start options once you have some bar, but yeah, I'll get into that later. Anchor. Anchor is something. Anchor for Hit is kind of, it's not really like the preferred spot, but like if your opponent like kills your other two characters, like, and you have to run Hit Anchor, you can definitely, it's definitely still works. It's just not as easy without your assists. Um, so yeah, mid I really think is key for Hit, because you get to use that assist with whatever point character you're running. Um, and when you need to switch out, when you have time to switch out, you can get some insane things on his DHC, or you raw tag, doesn't matter. But yeah, Hit mid is what I think the best position for him. So yeah, and as I was talking about assists, that's what we're talking about now. What are Hit's assists like? Hit's assists range from having a pretty insane DP, because it really is just a DP, um, to a full screen zoning tool, which also has the same amount of frame advantage as A, and having what I think the best C assist in the game, given that he is invincible throughout the duration of it, except for startup and end of it. But yeah, like his C assist is very good, very, very, very good. Um, and I honestly had to start using it because it really was just better for the team I was running. Or now I'm running Ginyu, Hit, Gohan A. Besides this team, this is the other team I've been messing around with. And Gohan A, if you have a DP assist already, you don't really need Hit A. And the thing is, Hit A and Gohan Adult A have the same amount of frame advantage, but Gohan A is just better because it's got that steep angle. You have to super jump to combo extend, but you know, it's worth it because it's got the anti-air properties, which Hit A does not have. So, yeah. C assist, I think, is his best choice in regards to his assists. B definitely can still run it. I mean, it is just a little bit strange because you don't really have situations where you can use it other besides zoning. Combo extensions are possible, they're just a little difficult, but yeah, hit B is still possible. um so yeah, let's get into his whole entire kit. I'm gonna be starting off with his normals. So right out the bat, we got 5L. 5L is very good. It's got whatever range, you know. It's I don't think it's that stubby, but it is pretty good. It is really good. Because now you can, I don't know if this was always been a part of hit, but you can 4L it and get the 2, and this is a great stagger option, which I'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, 5L, -3 on block, good, 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 good. 5LL, you get his first move that he can kind of just, like, you can do it and he'll track. It's got autocorrect too, so if they try to vanish most of the time, if you know how to time it right, you can punish their vanish with this thing because it will autocorrect. Not a good stagger move, but let me tell you that the hitbox on this move is ridiculous. If I can show you, it's got some good, yeah, right there. Vertical range is nuts with this guy. So if you got a jumper and you're close to them anyway, just pull that out, boom. And I don't know if when they block it air, if they block it air, you get +2. I never knew that. Let's see. That's good to know, honestly. 5LL is not the best. I mean, if you do this, you're kind of like in a panicked situation because you never want to do this on block. So yeah, don't do this on block. You'll get punished really hard. I mean, you can special cancel it, but like it's not the best because that really just limits your options. 2L, which I'll talk more in depth in a minute, essentially is an overhead. That's all you gotta know. It forces a tech situation. It's an overhead. That's all you gotta know for now. I'll talk about it more in a minute. So yeah, 5M, one of his best moves in the game, goes half screen, so you only have to do 2 to get to the opponent. Useless information, but it works. And is -2 on block. That means you can dash out, or you can, what's it called? Why am I doing this? You can dash out, or you can dash block. Just like that. It's pretty nuts. It's a really strong move. It really is one of the things hit like depends on because it's -2. That means it's good for stagger. And I forgot to say, 5L safe on block, 5LL safe on block, 5LL is safe on block. Pretty crazy. This is, 2L is unsafe on block. Don't do it. 5M is safe on block. I just forgot. I just wanted to throw that in there randomly because I forgot to talk about it. But if you press 5MM, he will do his 5H instead of a low like his 2M, because normally with characters they'll go 5M 2M if you just press it twice. But with hit, he goes 5M 5H, which is kind of nice because you don't have to press the H button to get this to come out. It's the same exact thing, unsafe because it's a heavy, but yeah, it's exactly the same. 2M, the forbidden move, surprisingly safe on block, which I'm surprised about because this thing looks way more unsafe than it is, but it is probably one of the slowest, if not the slowest, 2M in the game. I mean, just look at it, man. It's just, you know. But it does come in handy when you start getting into mix with it. So yeah, all you gotta know is 2M is low and long. There you go. 2H, which is final button. Unsafe, unblock. Trust me, I know. It's not the best 2H, but it does keep ground, which means you can special cancel and do all sorts of stuff. It's crazy. So yeah, now let's hop back over to his 2L and 2M. These go together hand in hand pretty much because these two give certain situations that, well, mainly 2L. 2M don't really do much, but it's still there. 2L is a frame trap, so if you throw this in, they will punish mostly everything except vanish and level 3, and if you do it on 5L like that, they'll punish you. So yeah, kinda sucks, but it still is good. And I'll show you. So right there, it forced a tech situation. Now if you don't know what that is, it's basically, for example, when the opponent gets off the ground and you see that white ring around them, they tech in a certain way. You see, he teched back, Roshi teched back, and you might hear people say, "Oh my God, he up teched" or something that I don't know, but up tech looks like that, where they kind of like launch into the air. A lot of people do it. It's good sometimes. You definitely can be punished for it if the person knows what they're doing. And with hit, you have access to making them tech however they want, but you still have the advantage, and I'll show you why. As I get into his other moves, but it really comes down to Oki with this character most of the time, especially like this. Like, everything has a purpose with it. And you can simply do a 2M or a 5M, I mean, and get back to them. But I'll talk about that more later. It just forces a tech situation where they have to do something and you kind of have to react to it, but don't worry, reacting to it is not that hard because there's a lot of things he has to stop this. So yeah. And basically what 2M is used for is little frame trap stuff. If your opponent realizes that they have to block overhead for this, like if you keep doing this, this is something most of the time I like to do. Condition them to start blocking up so that when you do this, they'll be blocking up still because they think, oh, you're gonna do it again, and then you just take their kneecaps with his 2M. And yeah, it works most of the time. I mean, I wouldn't try it a lot, especially if they're still not conditioned to you overheading them like that. But yeah. Now I'm going to be talking about his specials, and this is where it gets kind of crazy. So if I lose you, don't worry. Ask a question in the comments. I'll talk about it with you if you do have a question. But yeah. First of all, his, what's it called, vital point attack. He gets into a different stance where you can't move, you can't do anything, but press another button. And yeah, this gives him 4 options on this. If you go light, you get -2 on block, and this is your main, this used to frame trap on 2H, but it doesn't anymore. But this is like, if you're gonna assist extension on block. That would be the main way. But then he can do his medium, and these all have a certain set distance. So as you can see, this goes like 90 or like 85, I would say. Medium goes all the way, and this is a hard knockdown move. So I'll show you that too. Oh my god, alright. And I should have shown you this too. It gives like a little thing. Light. Great for assist extensions, as you can see. And then right there, medium is a hard knockdown. So it gives you some time, you know, and it works with his... All of them work with his level 1s, you know. Like that, boom. So yeah, and his level 3 works with it too. No, I don't think this works because they're still flying. Never mind, it works. But yeah, this is a hard knockdown, and then his OD button, light stance heavy, is this kick called the guard breaker, and you might have seen it in his assist. But it is completely invincible throughout startup all the way to when it hits them. And a lot of questions are asked when you do this move. Trust me, my friends always ask me questions on like why it does this. But if the opponent were to level 3 on, let's say this, you could just, you know, press heavy and it goes through it. So yeah, heavy goes through everything, man. It protects you from vanishes, or like poorly done vanishes, I should say. Like this. Aw. Oh, I messed it up, but like as you can see, boom, you're still gonna be negative on that, but it protects you anyway. So yeah, and then his last option on his light stance is to cancel, as if you press his special button, he will cancel the move. So you can, I mean, in block, you're not gonna do this. I mean, maybe, you know, if you assist and then go back in, it works if you really want to do that, but not always the best. So yeah, I forgot to talk about this move, but this can be talked about later because you don't really gotta know a lot for that. But anyway, back to his stance. Those are his main 4 options on it. If you do the medium version, however, of his stance, he gets this blue, like, aura around him. And this basically means that he's invisible. So if I can show you this, you can walk through him. He has no hitbox, pretty much is the thing. He has no hitbox. You cannot hit him. You cannot do anything on this. And like that, you could probably see that would probably be a good punish. So yeah, it's good to pull out sometimes if, for example, your opponent were to mash after your thing is done. But yeah, he's got no hurt box or hitbox. He's just built different, you know. And if you want to see, oops, damn it, I should have just done it like this because I was too slow. He pretty much didn't get hit for a solid couple of seconds on this. So you know where this is going, heavy, and I'll get into what just happened there right now. His medium stance basically means if you see this blueness around him, that his two moves from the light stance, you know, his medium and heavy, the kick and the hard knockdown, are going to cross up. That's how you tell, you know, like if you see the blue, he's probably gonna try for the cross up options because they get people a lot. And yeah, both his heavy and medium cross up, and you're probably wondering, well, what about the light? What does the light do? And the light is hits one and only projectile in the game. So yeah, it's pretty decent. Vanish extensions could be kind of interesting sometimes, but it's his only projectile, so use it. Use it like you have to sometimes. The cool thing about his assist or projectile, you can angle them down and up, and if you, because the normal one, it just goes the straight line up and then down. You can do the up one first, or you can do the down one first, and you can even do up, down, straight. So you can have complete control over the three projectiles. And the last thing you really want to know about this is the down is an overhead. As you can see, he is blocking high instead of low. It's an overhead. So yeah, it's pretty good. It can catch people, especially if like they're like super jumping or something, and they don't see you go into it. Just as they land, just pop a little overhead on them. You got it. But that pretty much sums up his stance. His heavy one, and of course you can still cancel on these. And his heavy one, all you gotta know about it is it's the fastest startup. That took like a couple frames. That took 51 frames. That took 70, and this takes 70. Kinda, you know, it's not always like correct, but 18. All you gotta know, look at how fast it does it. You can cancel this. This has the fastest startup and cancel time. So yeah, you could try doing that a couple times. Yeah, it's fun. But that's pretty much his whole entire stance. His heavy one's exactly like the medium one, got the projectiles and got the cross-ups. That's all his stance is. So yeah, let's get into the next special. His grab, don't really gotta talk a lot about the grab, but light covers just a few feet in front of him and behind him. I don't know when you'll ever use this, but it's there. So if you can pull it off, you're godlike. Medium hits the far ends of the map like that, and heavy reaches the in between, like the middle. So medium is far, light is close, and then heavy is medium or mid. And heavy gives you combo material. So yeah, heavy gives you combo material, so use it. And that's all it is. You can hold them to increase the distance, but I mean, who's gonna get caught by this? Yeah, no one. So yeah, it comes into mix most of the time where you use his grabs, so you're not really gonna be pulling these out raw most of the time. So yeah. And his last two special moves in the game are his Tides of Time, I think one's called. Oh, Mark of an Assassin, and Deadly Intent. So Deadly Intent, which we'll talk about first, performs 3 dashes, and it could steal corner, it could do all that types of jazz, and it auto puts him into light stance, just like that. It auto puts him into light stance, which is pretty dope. Does 3 dashes. I think I said that already. And you can pretty much do all of his options on it. To switch stances, however, because you can switch it to give him the invincibility of the medium stance, you have to press medium or heavy during his dashes. And as you can see, he changed. Now this is where it gets crazy for Mix, which I'll talk about later, because you can do some crazy stuff. But for now, just it goes right into his light stance, and you can change it and do all that types of stuff. So yeah. And his Marking of an Assassin move, his 214S, is basically the same, only performs 1 dash, but it goes backwards, his back dash. And the cool thing about this, you can do pretty much anything. Like even there, like you're canceling it faster. But you can pretty much special cancel anything after this. So you can go like that, you can go back in, and you can go grab. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's a really good move, it helps a lot, and it's pretty much your main block string ender, just to be safe. If you're not going for anything else and you just want to be safe again, they physically cannot punish you for this. And if they try to level 3, well, yeah, they're gonna get punished, and I'll show you. See, a lot of people think it's okay to level 3 raw on hit. Like, it's not okay. But yeah, like, just don't level 3 hit raw. Except if that happens. And the cool thing about these two, they are invincible to projectiles. So, yeah. The 2 dashes are invincible to projectiles whenever you get that situation. Just know that you're okay. You don't have to worry about it. But yeah, those are his special moves. That was a lot. And that's pretty much the longest part about playing Hit, is the special moves, understanding them and everything. But yeah, let's get into some Mix. Or not Mix. We'll talk about block string first. Block strings with Hit contain 5LL, 5MM, 2H. Pretty much that's his main block string right there. And then do this to be safe. If you're going for assists on block, do his light stance light. Don't worry, it's safe now. This used to be a frame trap, and it used to be godlike because it would get everyone. It would capture everyone by surprise. But they made it super fast, and now it don't work. So yeah, I forgot to talk about his light button, or his air buttons too. Damn. You could tell this is my first guide. Light buttons, don't ever use JL. Just never use this unless you're comboing. It seems like a really good thing, but it's really not. It doesn't got the good cross up. Medium is really one of the only things that stands out. Got the good cross up, good for jump ins. And his heavy, which his JH is like 2L in the fact that it forces a tech situation. You might see this nowadays with Janemba too. Janemba has this where it forces tech, but like he's not as cool as Hit and has crazy options to do after it. Nah, I'm joking. Janemba's still good, but yeah, it forces tech situation, and yeah, that's all you gotta know about it. But in block string, if you're going for that, boom. So yeah, like that's pretty much his airs and his main block string. All gapless, There's nowhere in this where there's a gap except there. But if you're also going for some more interesting assists, do the backdash and then assist and then get back in. Now this is what a part where you can do anything. Like at this stage, you can stance, you can grab, you could do everything in this point right here. You got your grab, you got everything. But yeah, you got everything. you can cancel heavy for cross up. It's insane. It really becomes kind of hard to block hit most of the time, but yeah, that's his main thing. For staggers, if you were going to go for stagger after this, you go for his 4L, and since you're already dashing, it will give you the spacing to then go back into this, and then here you would do 5M. Now 5M's the only other thing you can stagger, so do a 5M, pause, 5M, or 5M, pause, backdash, 5M, pause, dash block, or just do another 5M and then get on with the rest of his block string. So it would kind of look something like this. Right there, I didn't get the spacing for the 4L, but I kind of started it early. But yeah, that's pretty much his stagger. You can even do it on this. Yep. And of course, you can go for normal options. 6M still useful because it doesn't do a tech situation. So yeah, pretty still useful. Definitely do use this. You can even go for something strange like that, but that's kind of harder to pull off most of the time. So yeah, those are his staggers. As few as they are, that's his staggers. Now, frame trapping, I think I already talked about that. 2L, this is where I'm kind of gonna get into his mix and Oki, because this is all that's left with it. 2L. Now, again, you have access to anything if they get hit by this. Backdash grab, you can do the medium or heavy if you want combo. After it, you do the heavy and everything. But this is where it gets crazy because remember his 3-1? You can use this in block strings. You can, and this is actually fast enough for some characters, like for example UI Goku or characters with slow startup 5Ls. They're not slow, they're just like one frame above, but you can punish them for stuff like that. But you can punish anyone for something like that with his backdash 5L. Useful tip, but yeah. This move, if you use this on assist, you're already one step ahead of the game, because if they keep blocking, you can medium stance, you can do everything, and yeah, this is something I like to do here too, because it gives the cross up, if you know, if I were to do it, gives the cross up, and right there you can kind of like assist right there, and then cancel 2M, which that's already kind of busted, but yeah, you can do so much off of this cross up, and you're still -2 on block after his light stance light, so it's pretty strong. With some assists, like maybe a beam really does work well for him, because it covers it, and it lasts long enough so that you can probably get a couple plus frames on that. But yeah. Onto L. Doing light stance light is pretty good because this is a frame trap if they press a button. If they press a button, frame trap. So yeah. And that works for every button except level 3. And that's why sometimes just going for it like that can be a problem. But as you can see on block, that was a positive frame. And it depends on how early you hit them to get the plus frames. So if I get like, no, I can't even hit them at all. Right there, it was just the regular. Right there, -1. -1. Yeah, it just really depends on how early you hit them. This is kind of something that I wouldn't practice too much because it's not really important, but if you manage to get a plus frame, I say that's pretty dope. But yeah, you can cross up. You can even do it from there to give a regular cross up. So yeah, it's a lot of getting comfortable with this character, and it's not so much mix. I mean, the stuff on ground is, but it's really just Oki. Knowing what to do for Oki is great. And remember when I was talking about uptechs? If they uptech this, look at those plus frames. I forgot to talk about that, but this move is light or positive on air block. So if they block this and they're in the air, don't worry about an assist, just do that. That will happen a lot where you won't get the spacing and they can probably mesh out, but don't worry, you got your trusty 5M to take care of it. So yeah, and that is pretty much it with Hit, man. Hit is a very interesting and different character, and I love any character like this that has stance changes and has different things to do in their stances, because I love that in a character. You get access to so much more. A couple of resets that you should know. If you do this, depending on your assist, you can get a quick little overhead reset. And if you don't have an assist like this to give you it here, don't worry, super dash, and then press each of those individually. As you can see, I did L and H. And then you get a free dash up that hits meaty. So yeah, don't worry about it if you don't have the correct assists. And that's what I think is cool about Hit. You don't really have to pick the right assists. You can do pretty much anything. You can run Gotenks A and work with Hit still. Like, he's just that cool. And a cool thing about this, if you 5M, or I think 5H, my bad. If you 5H, Hit's meaty, like guaranteed meaty. Corner, if you do something like that, like you just saw me do, where you do, and sometimes it's weird to get in corner. Holy 21, please just work. You can do this and then press heavy again, and then your plus after that. You can time this to hit meaty, but in corner, medium should hit meaty if you time it correctly too. But of course, you can always just get a guaranteed meaty with the 5H. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Like I said, it's a lot of getting comfortable with this character, because this character, if you haven't been able to tell already, you have to take risks. You got to learn to take risks with this character and try things that otherwise wouldn't work. Like this is something I'm still scared about, but I've still been working on it, is canceling it and then 2M'ing to get that low. Like, it's risky because they are kind of open after that assist, but with enough practice, I'll be able to do that faster and stuff like that. And don't worry, man, if stuff like if you're going for something crazy with his medium stance, don't worry about it. Start small, okay? You you don't want to start big with this character and do crazy things like this, like like with his medium stance right away. You kind of want to start off, you know, just getting his basic block string down, and then like realizing, oh wait, I can do this on this, and then getting this to do this, and it's a gradual learning process with this character, and I love it. And I really appreciate all the hits out there that give this man a chance, because he is great. So, yeah. Just start small, get down his, you know, little this, try different things like his grab, see if they work. If they don't work, it kind of needs a little bit more buffing around the edges, but, you know, you'll get it. You'll get it. Like, it's taken me, sheesh, I don't even know. I said sheesh, wow. But it's taken me since I started playing this character around Super Saiyan Blue, and I've spent the last 3 years playing this guy as my main. And yeah, he really upsets people, man. I forgot to talk about this. All you gotta know, it's a counter, okay? It's a straight up counter. You can combo off of it if you go stance. And of course, you can do this in air, and when it does in air, it puts you on the backside. So it's a free cross up pretty much, and this is what you do if they ever try to approach you from air. If they try to approach you with a super dash or an air, just pop out one of those. The timing, it does take time to get used to, because like even that's kind of weird. But this is what I would practice the most, getting this like lowest to the ground so that like you jump and it's not even a problem, you know? Like that was kind of late. But yeah. Again, slow learning process. It takes time. It's taken me 3 years to the point where I'm comfortable just resetting them and getting more damage. That's the thing. He does not do a lot of combos. He's more of a reset guy, and that's so much fun, because you could just break their ankles every single time, man. It's just, oh, it's so fun. But yeah, that pretty much sums up Hit in 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 general. I couldn't think of the right word, but yeah. Get used to it. Take your time. Don't rush Hit. You can't really rush Hit, man. But you'll get there. You'll get to the point where like you got your friends complaining. That's the point where I'm at. You get to the point where your friends complain about this character a lot. And trust me, it will happen. Do not go easy on them with this character. If they feel like giving up, let them. You're trying to get better with Hit. You're not trying to do what's right for your friend, you know, unless you're teaching your friend. Then I would say tone it down a little bit. But yeah. That is all Hit, man. That was a pretty large video. That's why I said combos. You don't really need to know combos, though, is the thing with Hit. You don't really gotta know combos with this character. 2H is really where you get some damage, and most of your damage, so, yeah. Just remember that for if I do the combo video. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Hopefully you guys learned something with this character. I hope I didn't do a bad job. If you got any more questions, leave them in the comments below. But that's it. All I gotta say is like and subscribe. But the thing I want you guys to do the most, share it around. That's all I want to do. If you got any peoples that like Hit and want to play Hit, or you think this video was interesting as a whole, share it to a friend that might want to play Hit, or if you're playing Hit and your friend wanted to start getting into it, share it. But yeah, that is my video on Hit. If I did a bad job, I'm sorry. But yeah, hopefully you guys liked it, and yeah, peace.